Your GCSE maths exams, whether you're foundation or higher, you have to be able to work out the mean from a frequency table, especially when you're given an interval like this, when it's a grouped frequency table. So let's go through it. Let's make sure it's a method you're cool with. Take 1 minute and just make sure you can do it as well. So first thing is, when we're given a range for our values here, an interval, we have to find the midpoint. Okay, so first thing I'm going to write is the midpoint here. Let me just call that mid. So the midpoint of 0 and 5 is 2.5. 5 and 10 is 7.5. And I'll just do the rest. But while I'm doing that, I'll just urge you to be careful here. Often what they'll do is they'll trick you out by creating a different interval here. So these might be 5s. And then the last one, they might make like a 10 and people get the wrong midpoint. So just pay attention to that. Next thing is, once we've got our midpoints, we need to do the midpoint times by the frequency. Okay, so normally I would call that m times f, but we've used m here. So I'm going to just write mid times by f. So that's 2.5 times 4, that's 10. 7.5 times 12, what's that? 75 add 15 is 90. 12.5 times 26, what's that come to? I think that comes to 325. And 8 times 17.5, that comes to 140. Okay, next thing to do then is to add up this column that we've just found. And there's also going to be a common mistake in the next step. So let's start 100, 425. This comes to 565. And the next thing is, often people add up this column, but we don't. We add up the frequencies. Please keep that in mind. So we add up the frequencies. They actually add up to 50. That's quite nice. So our mean then, is going to be the corner number, okay? The ones we added up here. So 565 divided by the sum of the frequencies, how many numbers there are. So divided by 50. And what does that give us? That gives us 11.3. Okay. Thing is, that's not all though. Look at the context of the question. People often forget about this and cost themselves that last mark. These numbers are in pounds. So the mean value is actually, £11.30.